luxurious dal, succulent fried chicken, crispy potato slices, and fluffy basmati rice. A dinner menu that's a complete delight for your evening. This is one of our household favorites, and I can confidently say it will soon be yours too. Welcome back to Burma Wala Kitchen. Let's start by marinating 1 kilogram of chicken. I'm using legs and thighs, the true champions of chicken. In goes 1 tablespoon of salt and a tablespoon of red chili powder, which will add a lovely kick. Next, 3 tablespoons of coriander cumin powder, also known as dhania jeera, a teaspoon of turmeric for color, 2 tablespoons of garlic and ginger paste because, let's face it, we can never have too much flavor, half a teaspoon of red food color for that vibrant hue, and 3 tablespoons of malt vinegar to make it all sing. Give this a quick mix and let it marinate while we prepare the rest of our dish. Remember, the longer you let it marinate, the better the taste. Now onto our dal. I'm using 2 cups of pigeon pea lentils, lovingly known as Toor Dal. Give them a good wash and then directly into our pan they go. Once we've scraped it all from the bowl, in goes 4 cups of water. Give it a quick mix and bring the heat up to medium. Now for the spices. 1 teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of turmeric, 1 tablespoon each of garlic and ginger paste, and lastly, 2 whole green chilies for that extra oomph. Mix it all together, and as you do, just take a moment to admire how magnificent this bright yellow dal is. We want it bright and beautiful. This dal is incredibly easy to make, a true wonder. Once the pan comes to a boil, we'll add the lid and let it cook on low for 25 minutes to soften the lentils. While our lentils are bubbling away, let's get our rice ready. I have 2 cups of basmati rice that's been thoroughly washed and soaking for a minimum of 30 minutes. This helps the rice grains to lengthen and fluff up nicely. In it goes into our pot. Don't leave a single grain behind. No waste in this Burma Wala kitchen household. Following that, pour in 4 cups of water, and let's add our dry aromatics. 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, 2 green cardamoms, and a teaspoon of salt. Give it a quick swirl so everything is evenly distributed. We'll bring the whole pot to a boil, and once we've got that first rolling boil, add the lid and lower the heat. Cook it on low for 20 minutes, and it will be perfectly ready to team up with our dal. Even if it's ready earlier, you can keep the lid on and leave it on the lowest temperature possible to keep it fresh and fluffy. Now let's tackle our potatoes. I've peeled them and kept them in water to stop them going brown. We're going to slice them, not too thick but not too thin either. We want some substance, not crisps after all. They'll be crunchy on the outside and soft pillows on the inside. Shouldn't take long to slice up 4 of them. I've sharpened my knives for this occasion. Once the potatoes are cut, let's give them a simple spice covering. In goes 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Give this a good massage, ensuring every single potato slice gets equal opportunity for love. Just look at how golden they look already, and we haven't even fried them yet. Now, on to frying the chicken. We have a large pot of oil heated to 180 degrees Celsius. We're going to add in our marinated chicken, one by one. They've been patiently waiting for their turn. After all, make sure the oil is up to temperature so it gets a nice sear right at the start, locking in all those juicy spices. Once all the chicken has entered the pan, do not touch it for the first 5 minutes. Let it crisp up beautifully. If you don't have a deep pan for frying, you can do this in a shallow pan. Or, for an even easier option, pop them in the oven for 45 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. Spritzed with a bit of oil. After a few minutes, it's time for a gentle stir, making sure nothing is sticking to the bottom. A good tip while frying is to remove any excess debris from the top with a small sieve. This helps clean the oil, and those crunchy bits are incredibly tasty. Perfect for a topping on your rice. It's been 14 minutes, and the chicken is ready. It's crispy on the outside and succulent on the inside, smelling absolutely amazing. Just make sure to drain all the excess oil. Give it a quick shake to remove any of that excess, as we'll be using this flavorful oil to fry our potatoes. And there we have the last two pieces coming out. Just gorgeous. Now it's time for our spiced potato slices to take a bath in that glorious oil. Add them all to the pan. If your pan isn't big enough, you can fry them in multiple batches, but do be patient as they take their time to fry to a golden crunch. It took me about 15 minutes to get them that lovely crispy exterior with a soft inside. I used Maris pipers, so your potatoes might differ slightly. Make sure to give them a swirl while they fry so each potato gets even color. The oil is hot, so be careful not to burn yourself. It might spit a bit with the water from the potatoes, so as always when frying, take utmost caution. You'll know the potatoes are ready when they start floating to the top. Look how amazing these beauties look. They've puffed up beautifully, and I promise you, you'll have only half left when it's time to serve. There's no way you'll resist snacking on them while you prepare the rest of the dish. It happened here too. I couldn't resist a cheeky bite while filming. When taking them out of the pan, make sure to shake off all that excess oil. Hear how they sound when they hit the colander? So crispy. Now back to our dal. It has cooked to perfection. The lentils are soft, and it has already started thickening up. However, I feel it has thickened a bit too much, so I'll be adding 1 cup of water. It's all up to your preference regarding how thick you like your dal. Now it's time for the trusty hand blender. A few good blitzes, and our dal will be smooth to perfection. We don't want any bits here, folks. Just be very careful as the dal is piping hot. It's been blitzed, and see that consistency? Just right, with a color that's simply delightful. We want our dal to be a strong yellow, but we're not done yet. We need to make the tadka to take it to the next level. On to making the tadka. In a small pan, bring it to medium heat and dry roast 1 tablespoon of cumin for about 30 seconds until you start smelling that wonderful aroma and they've picked up some color. Keep your eyes on it as it can burn very easily. Once they're ready, in goes a 1/4 cup of oil and 2 tablespoons of ghee. The ghee adds a luxurious touch and a fabulous aroma. We'll melt the ghee and then add in 1 onion, sliced thinly. We'll fry these onions for about 5 minutes until they're nearly golden brown. Don't rush this step. We don't want raw tasting onions in our dal, so take your time. Once the onions are ready, we need to work fast. In goes 1 tablespoon of coriander cumin powder and 3 green chilies. Just give them a few quick swirls. We don't want to cook the green chilies too long or they'll burst. And quickly we'll pour the tadka directly on top of our dal. It smells absolutely amazing. The whole kitchen has come alive. Look how beautiful it looks as I swirl the tadka in. It has such a lovely glow now, and we've taken it from 90 to 100. Let's finish off our dal with a generous garnish of fresh green coriander. Our dish is finally complete. Let's check on our rice. It has been slowly cooking away while we've been busy with everything else. Time to take a fork to it and fluff it up a bit. Look at that rice. Perfectly fluffy, and each grain has lengthened to its maximum potential. Now, let's start plating up our dinner. Time to show off all our hard work. Here comes the main dish, the dal, with its thick, creamy texture that looks divine. See how easy it was to make? The color is fantastic, and the smell is a delight. And remember, it's so easy to prep and freeze. Next, it's time for our rice, plated to perfection. Each grain is loose and fluffy, making it a great carrier for our dal. Rice is always the unsung hero. It deserves more appreciation. Here comes our fried chicken, looking bright and beautiful. And oh, it's amazing. I wish you could taste it. Well, now you can make it at home with my recipe. And finally, the pièce de résistance, our golden crispy potato slices. You can never have too many of these. Now that everything is plated, it's time for the grand unveiling. This feast is not just a meal. It's a celebration. So gather your family around the table and don't forget to share your love and stories over this delightful spread. And there you have it. A plate filled with creamy dal, fragrant basmati rice, succulent fried chicken, and crispy potatoes, all coming together to create an unforgettable dining experience. This meal is sure to bring smiles to the faces of your loved ones. Who wouldn't be delighted with a dinner like this? I hope you've enjoyed this journey of flavors and aromas with me in the Burmawala kitchen. Do give this recipe a go, and I can't wait to hear how it turns out for you.